Good morning again. I want to say something to y'all, because I have noticed something. When I get to thinking, y'all know this is when I get to thinking. I get to thinking, right? I've been noticing in these skits this morning, right? Listen to me now. In these skits, these writers, even Country Wayne, are listening to what we are saying. Check the skits out. Notice the difference in the attitudes of certain people. Notice how certain people's minds are getting changed. Notice how certain people, like, for instance, Raffi and Sade. I said earlier that Sade and Raffi are going to end up together some kind of way. Look how close they are now, right? Yeah, that's happening now. And watch what I tell you. That baby is going to end up over to the house of the father and the stepmom. Watch what I tell you about that, too. The baby's going to end up over there because you know what? These skits, the writers are listening to us. It's the either or situation, and some things they're not going to do, and some things they are going to do. But God can soften Pharaoh's heart enough to get Pharaoh to let the people go. Catch my drift? I'm not trying to mention names right now, but you know who I'm talking about. We could write it in the comments. But I found something out. The more we talk about certain names, the more views they get. The less we talk about certain names, the less views they get. I said earlier, I watch numbers, and I've been watching a lot of numbers on these skits. And you could tell the ones that's doing great and why they're doing great. And I noticed that right now, it's Dominique with her crazy self. Her skits are popping. Also, believe it or not, Larry's ex-wife, she's popping. Her skits are popping. And there are over 50,000 people watching her skits. There's over 50,000 people watching Dominique's skits, right? Mike has got almost 100,000 people watching his skits. There's always plenty of people watching Anthony and Amber skits. There's always over 80 or 90,000, maybe 100 or more thousand watching their skits. I'm not going to mention the other one because it's my plan not to talk or mention the other skit view as much as possible because I'm tired of giving more views to that because I'm tired of the same old thing over and over again. I want some new action for that skit. I want some new reviews on this skit because you get so sick and tired of hearing the same old lines, the same old whining over and over again. So I'm not mentioning any names if you know what I mean. But the writers are listening to us. And I had a comment saying that, which I said this too, and I would say it again. Country Wayne is not a writer. Country Wayne is a comedian. He is a comedian that had an idea, and that was to write skits. He's been doing it for a long time. So he's not a writer. He is learning to write. So he is probably trying to get some views or some, pointers from people who are writers. That's why he hired writers to help him. So I think the writers are talking to him and probably telling him that he needs to do this or change this or that. But hey, they are listening to us. So just give it some time, sit back, watch, but continue to give your view. But just watch how you give it and who you give it to. Thank you, and God bless.